Sarah Chave, Clara Apollo, on a mixture of the New Earth podcast and the Chi Time podcast. We have come together here on what we're referring to as When Sarah Met Clara, because that's exactly what it is. And Sarah, you're over in Portugal, aren't you?
Yeah, and I notice in my light top, and you're still in your your winter scarf. So it's springtime is starting to come in for sure over here now. I can really feel it.
Yeah, but your springtime is quite different from here in the UK. You know, there's still a chill in the air. You know, still having to wear the scarf and the woolies. Where you're just in a t-shirt. So come on, it might be springtime in for you, but there's a different level of warmth, isn't there, in Portugal?
Absolutely. And even in January this year, we were out in the sun. It was an unseasonably
Was
warm
it?
January for us.
Right,
So
right.
we had a really short winter.
Well, the seasons are changing, aren't they? And indeed, they are rolling around now, and we are in the season in traditional Chinese medicine, which is the Qigong that I share. The elemental Qigong is part of. Is we're talking about the wood element, and we're in the wood dragon season as well. So we really fancy chatting about what does that mean? What's this wood element thing? And yeah, and what is the springtime all about?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the springtime is the best time to launch new projects because it's that natural energy of growth. In a way, for me, it is the start of the year. I tend not to think so much as of January, all those kind of resolutions and everything. I tend
Yeah.
to save that more for the springtime. It's like, this is when I want to kind of have that growth energy because it fits so well with the wood element.
Exactly. And like you were saying in the last episode of sort of being able to ride on the energy of the time with we were doing our backwards flowing hamster wheel, weren't we? And I think that in January and February, you know, when the inbolt came, we were planting seeds. We were just very graciously just planting the seeds. We weren't edging them on and moving them forwards, but you know, with the nurture of the water and the earth, that well, it's a natural process that when we get to, you know, March and onwards, get marching onwards. Why is it called March? Because it's striding ahead, can't help itself. That is the energy of the spring, and and so to be able to sort of trust that, but also ride it. I'm a big believer in this riding of the energies because it just takes the pressure out of having to rush or feeling like you're late or whatever. Nature's never late. She doesn't look at her watch, does she? She is the watch.
I love that. I'm going to get a coughing fit. I have to edit this bit out.
Oh, bless you. Oh, dear.
I haven't got any water either.
Do you want to get some? Shall we pause?
Yeah.
So, yeah, remembering that we were chatting about that on the last episode, weren't we? About how when we come into our rolling backwards hamster wheel, we're actually sitting in the saddle and we can ride on time rather than having to rush forwards and trying not to be late and everything. And of course, well, nature's never late, is she? Because she doesn't look at her watch. She is the time, you know, and it's that taking the pressure off and letting yourself ride on the energy, and the energy of springtime is that of natural growth, but also of planning, as you were saying, as this is the time to really put your plans into action, isn't it?
Yeah, because the liver, from a Chinese medicine point of view, the liver and the gallbladder are the organs that are associated with the wood element. And the liver likes to plan, that's part of its job, is it likes to plan, and the gallbladder likes to make decisions, and so we can walk that path. So it's a really great time to kind of think, put things in motion and grow and expand and step into the new, really, because that's what nature's doing. It's bursting forth, really, isn't it?
Bursting forth, birthing forth, and as you were saying that, I was remembering that you know the liver has over 200 functions. It does so much stuff. One of the things it does is obviously detoxify the body. So you know we're talking about in the wood element, supporting the liver, but before the wood would be the water, and the water's also cleansing, connecting to the kidneys. And actually, our systems are constantly clearing, aren't they? But when it comes to this spring season, this whole spring cleaning thing, isn't it? Really tonifying the liver. You can use some sounds for the liver. You can use some particular colors for the liver, but you're also coming into that. How can I clear, or what is some really simple ways that I can clear? I don't know. We can get into these details, but actually, you know, we're already clearing right here and now. There's a detoxification going in our system, but we can certainly enhance that and encourage that with certain practices. So, what do you feel about clearing then? Where do you want to
Yeah,
go
it's
with this?
interesting because it's easy to sort of think of it in terms of that liver cleanse, isn't it? And that
Yeah,
physical aspect. But
yeah,
actually, stagnation in the liver can be stuck thoughts, that can create stuck, stagnation in the liver. So, shifting our beliefs can be clearing out all those things that are no longer serving us, can be a massive detox as well.
So, but it's a combo, isn't it? As you shift one aspect of yourself, then the other can catch up. I've noticed that because we've both done our Akashic record clearing training, I know that we bring that into what we offer now. And I've noticed with that, as you're clearing the multidimensional aspects of your psyche, so there's a knock-on effect in your kitchen cupboards, for instance, or the way that you sort of fold your clothes up or put them into the charity shop or something. That feels to me like there's a follow-on effect. If you clear one aspect, then others will follow through. Have you found that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And like, how can we shift that stagnation? That would
Yeah,
be the question of the liver, because
yeah.
we can get stagnant. And just going on a walk every morning to get the energy moving can be a massive way to keep to not having to clear, because we keep that energy circulating. It's when it gets stuck that we then get a build up, because the liver sort of can't really quite keep up. So it's
Yeah.
those times when we have a lot to process, which is the times we're going through. There's a lot to process at the moment because there's so much change. It's like,
Mm.
how can we support the liver to keep on top of things, to keep the house clean, you know
Yeah,
on all
employ my
levels.
liver. Come on, liver, do a bit of vacuuming, will you? That would be fun. But no, as you were saying that because the liver, because it holds so much blood, doesn't it? Because all the blood, when you're asleep, it will hold the blood. So, and the liver doesn't like to be stagnant; it likes to be moved. And I'm just remembering that lovely spinal turning movement that we can do in our practices, that because our liver's situated, was it on the right hand side just below the ribs? So if we're sitting here right now and we just come into the length of our spine so that we feel long in the back and relaxed shoulders, and obviously breathing into your relaxed belly, and just let yourself, when you breathe out next, just let yourself turn your head to one side and let your shoulders follow. And then you breathe back into center. And then you breathe out to the other side, the head turns and the shoulders follow. Can you feel that center of you? Like, oh, it was always like, so carry on while I'm chatting. But it feels like you're almost wringing it out inside, giving it a movement that it loves and responds to. And this is reminding me of the energy of the wood element, that's connected with our muscles, and the muscles are like they grow long and like a spiral. So when we bring any turning or spiraling into our bodies or into our limbs, the muscles love it, the livers loves it, because it wrings out that last little bit that needs to go, when you're wringing out your washing. um so just, I mean, this is the standing motion as well, but it is quite nice to do it seated, because you've got the stability of your hips and you're turning the length of your spine. And can you feel that getting into your liver there, Sarah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is one of the most common Qigong warm-ups, isn't it? It happens in every teacher that I've had, any or even Tai Chi, they will always do this movement. It seems
With
like
the
the
arms
body
moving
calls
as
it.
well, isn't it,
Yeah,
usually?
yeah. But
That swinging. Yeah.
just letting the liver move, and you can do some tapping on it as well. Have a little chat to it, because the liver can get very serious, very serious. organ, and you can go, oh, lighten up, will you, liver? Put a little smile on your face. I really appreciate you, and give it some love, give it some appreciation, and yeah, bit of liver loving. What's that?
The liver can tend to, get it's anger. The liver is
Frustration.
anger and frustration from a Chinese medicine point of view.
Yeah.
And we have in our culture this understanding, it's not okay to be angry. So actually, anger is meant to move us forward. It's meant to show us what's not working for us so we can grow and shift that energy and make it work for us. It doesn't necessarily mean we need to go out shouting and blazing, but we need to listen to, what's not working for us. Otherwise, we go into that stagnation, into that stuckness.
Yeah.
So I actually, for the liver, really love the healing sounds.
Yes.
The Taoist healing sounds.
Absolutely.
And there's a sound for each organ. And the
Yes.
liver sound is like the sound like the sound you're trying to make if you would like someone to be quiet,
Almost to shoo it away as well, like shh.
Yeah. So that's really powerful. And there's a couple of ways that you can do this. One is that you're, like you were saying, by compressing or stretching. By stretching the liver, you bring more awareness and tension there automatically. So we could just try this if you like, this
Yeah.
stretching of the liver, making the sound. And the sound doesn't need to be, really like shh. It's more the inner vibration. It's
Yeah.
that vibration in the
Yeah.
organ. I'm just doing it quite loud so everyone can hear it to
Yeah.
start with. But when we're
Yeah.
actually making the sound, it can be quite quiet.
Right.
So let's try this together, and I'm going to try it a couple of different ways so you've got a couple of different options to see what works for you. So just taking some nice deep belly breaths to start with, coming into your body, coming into your breath, really anchoring in, feeling the soles of the feet connecting into Mother Earth. And then on the next in-breath, we're going to place our palms facing upwards, stretch them up, and then lean over to the left so that we're stretching out that right side of the liver. So breathing in.
Give
and
it some
then breathing
space.
out, looking up with your eyes, looking at your hands, and making the sound. And then bringing your hands down. Just noticing what you notice.
I noticed that I did that wrong.
How can you do it wrong?
I came upright and did the sound. I should have stayed over. I haven't done this one before with you,
That's
so
okay.
very
We
nice.
can do it again. So
Yeah, I
when you
think that's
come into
nice.
this more meditative space after bringing your hands down, you can just look at the liver from side to side with your eyes, with the intention of delete. Delete any emotions, anything that's no longer serving, any anger, any frustration. So you're just looking backwards and forwards with your eyes. So let's do this again. So breathing in, looking up with the eyes, and then your own time, bringing the hands down with the out breath and just sitting, observing the liver, looking from side to side, deleting any frustration, any anger, any stuckness, which is a form of unexpressed anger and expressed potential. And then when we do this a third time, making the sound much more silent. So, and really focusing in on the vibration in the liver. So as you look up with your eyes, the eyes are connected to the liver. We are really looking into the liver and the vibration there, and releasing, as we're breathing out, all that anger, all that stuck energy with the sound. So breathing in, you can almost like visualize black smoke, black clouds of smoke coming out of your mouth as you breathe out with the sound. So breathing in. Delete any anger, frustration, looking backwards and forwards with your eyes. And I'm going to give another option for the healing sounds, because another thing that I've learned is that sometimes with these organs in the abdomen, it's nice to go directly to them. So I'm just going to move so placing your hands actually over the liver, breathing in. And as you breathe out, pushing in and crouching down. Shh. So you're actually massaging and compressing that area to release the sound, to release with the sound.
That's so interesting, bringing in that pressing up and in, because there's liver meridians all around there too. But if we come back to sitting now, I don't know about you, but I feel so much more space in the right side of my body, as if my breath is just going more into the right lung and the liver than into the left lung and the spleen. It's like, just goes to show. Do you remember we were talking about space in the last episode, about giving yourself space to take care of yourself? And this, we've just created an internal sense of space so that the liver can do its functions, because it wants to flow. It doesn't want to be stuck. So that's a really practical but great energetic set of movements and sound to really help clear liver stagnation. So thank you for that, Sarah. That was really, really lovely.
Yeah, and do let us know how you get on with that, everyone, because one of the things that we'd like to do with this podcast is to have it set up interactive, so that if you have anything that you're stuck with, we can bring that in and work with the seasons, and actually talk about what people are experiencing as well, so that we can really build on this and make it a conversation not just between Clara and myself, but between all of us.
Exactly. And if there are any aspects that have come up throughout any of this that you want to ask us questions about, we'd love to hear from you. And if there's something that you'd like us to speak into more, if we're able to, we'd be very happy to do that. So just commenting at the bottom of this podcast, or on the YouTube channel, or coming into our websites. Mine is clara@apollo.com, and yours is
replenishzing.com.
replenishzing.com. See what she did there. Oh, brilliant. I tell you, the other thing, I feel really settled now. It's like when the liver is happy, everything else is, because the liver supports the heart, doesn't it? So, and the blood circulation. So I think this has been a very useful episode of the New Earth Chi Time podcast, when Sarah met Clara. Thank you.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you all for listening.
See you next month.
See you next
Bye
time.
for now.
Bye.